Hello, my name is Ivy Clem. I had the singular honor and privilege to have an exclusive interview with the one and only Pastor Tinu Asegieme as she attains 50 years old. It was a great conversation. She had the time to sit down and tell me about her growing up years, her names, and all her hopes and her dreams. So please just sit back, relax, and enjoy this amazing interview.
Hello, my name is Tinu Asegieme and it's my 50th birthday. What has changed? My eyes. I could see better before I was 40. From 40 till now. So please take your carrot like very serious.
How does it feel?
It's amazing. Honestly, it is amazing. I'm grateful to God. I'm doing my best to come to terms with the fact that the big 50 is here. When we were young, we used to just imagine 50. Wow. I can't honestly believe that I'm there. I'm grateful to God. The countdown for me has been for my 49th birthday when I started thinking about the true essence of life. I've come to know that life is a gift. Every moment you're awake, every breath you take is a gift from God. It should not be taken for granted and it should be shared. You should leave a lasting effect on people. You should live with imparting people with whatever essence you feel per time, on you. So I've become very intentional about life, making happiness the chief of my existence. Not only being happy alone, but sharing happiness, sharing joy. No matter what comes your way, no matter what happens to you, your happiness is your commodity. You should own it and you should spread it. I was born the second child in a family of 7, and I'm the first daughter. So there must have been something beautiful about my birth because all my names have love, petting, beauty, appreciation to it. So my names are Atinuke, Morenikeji, Morenike, Kikelomo, Oluwafolakemi. The one it's my name, Ajoke. And there are some wicked people in the audience who already know a name I don't want to share. But the truth of the matter is nobody gave me that name, I gave it to myself. So when I was done with it, I took it out. But those are my names. And Atinuke simply means the one that had been petted even before she arrived. So while I was in my mother's womb, I was already an object of love and preference and favor. Because Atinuke means I've not seen you, but I love you. Okay? You have been loved from within. And all other names carry the same logo. Oluwafolakemi. God has crowned me. God has crowned me with wealth. Kikelomo. This child is to be petted and pampered and loved. And that's all my names. Petting, loving, accepting, favored. See, these names have followed me all life long. I'm such a favored child. You can't see me and not like me. If you don't like me, check yourself. It can't be me.
What about the one that
My husband calls me Olome. Olome means my wife. And he calls me Olo for short. And I love it when he calls me that name. It just makes me smile. It has that Nkem feel, that my own. I'm from a family of great love. We grew up together. We grew up as strong friends. We're 7 friends. Our parents passed some years back, and one legacy that everyone saw at both their funerals was the unity. Someone even called us and said, we see uncommon unity amongst you. Don't lose it. It's true. We are as real can be. No deceiving. We call you out when you're out of line. We face you, but you know you are so loved and so rounded. And it's true. So I know, without a doubt, that I'm loved by all my siblings. My growing up was very, very eventful. I am that, like I said, I'm the first of 7. I grew up in Ikoyi with my parents. My dad was a director with UAC, and my mom worked in NNPC. So, regular Christian family raised up with Christian ethics. But I had an attack on my childhood. Before I was 10, I was abused. I was severely abused in the big house. In fact, 24 Body Lawn has become a well-known house. Right now, that was a house I grew up in with my siblings. And I was abused. It started out with the day guard. I was in primary school, I remember. And we'll come back from school and, the day guard would lure me into the generator house. So we had all, the BQ, the generator, the laundry room. It was a mansion. It was a big house. So I would be lured into there and a lot would happen to me. And when this person, I remember him saying to me, if you tell anybody this, you'll be killed. With my young mind, I was barely 8 when all of this happened. And I guess he became more confident because he told the gardener, and the gardener did the same. He told the night watches, and they did the same. So whenever my parents went off to go for dinners, to go for their parties, this happened for a long time. I was a very, very wounded child. All of this happened before I was 10. I just saw that I had weird manifestations. I used to be full of darkness. So many times when people say that their 10-year-old is a baby, I'm wondering, except you were not 8 when I was 8. I was evil in my soul. I was planning a comeback at these people. These were the days that parents were not necessarily close to their children. So these people had warned me that this was going to happen to me. I was the one to look out for my siblings to ensure that they ate, they were well taken care of. My elder brother was off to boarding school. So this was a heyday for the enemy. And the way it comes to me, or the way it came to me when I came to myself, was that the enemy must have seen the bright star that I was. Must have seen a global redeemer that I was, that he chose to attack me in infancy. Before I was 10, this had gone on. Both my parents went to glory without knowing about this. In fact, the first person I ever told was my sister. She cried and cried and cried the day I told her. Then I told my brother, the one right after me, and that gave us the opportunity to always open up and speak about ourselves on any matter. But this had gone on for 10 years of my life. I called it the devil's dark room. I was in the dark room of the enemy for 10 years, never smiling, never happy, always angry. I would stay in a dark room and shut the doors and cry and cry. Many times my mom, I'm not judging or blaming her. Now I know better. She will come into the room and see me crying and say, this girl, you are not Banje. You are not Banje. Something is wrong with you. Your siblings are downstairs playing. Why are you in this dark room crying? But they just never knew. So the greatest thing that happened in my life happened when I turned 13. I gave my life to Christ. It was like light came into a dark room. It was like the greatest thing that ever happened to me. But one day, in my dad's church, the church we all went to was an Anglican church, a young boy was in his year 2. I will never forget his name, Kemi Mabo. I pray I meet him someday. Young boy, he was barely 14, 15 himself. He came out in Sunday school and he began to talk about the love of Jesus. I was glued. I'm like, what is this guy talking about? It was like someone was reading out my script. It was like, we're all young. What is this? Why are you being so intense? What are you talking about? By the time this guy was done talking, he said, if you think you need this love I'm talking about, just come out. As far as I remember, I was the only one that came out that day. I came weeping. And that was how my life turned around. I had a total encounter of love.